Those are a nod to the more famous flying buttress structures at the top of the Tribune Building. If we were taking a tour of the Chicago River a couple hundred years ago, our tour would be over because we would already be in the lake. But mankind loves to tinker with Mother Nature, so we've created a lot of land with landfill where there used to be water. So I get to spend a little more time with you and talk about two of my favorite neighborhoods in Chicago. On the left-hand side, this neighborhood is known as Streeterville here on the left-hand side. But his wife and he decided, hey, this was a fortuitous accident. This is a great place to set up shop. And much to the chagrin of all the wealthy Chicagoans that had built mansions along the lakefront up to the left-hand side here, they stayed there, lived in their boat, and invited Chicagoans to use the area around their boat as an unofficial landfill. And there was a lot of construction going on post-fire in Chicago. So away, they burned the shanty town to the ground, which eventually gave rise to this beautiful neighborhood of high-rise residences that is also home to the downtown campuses of both Northwestern University and the University of Chicago. On the right-hand side, we have the neighborhood called Lakeshore East Park. There is actually a park at river level that's kind of hidden behind this wall of skyscrapers. All of this land was created by the Illinois Central Railroad because the railroad ran up along the lakefront. Point Tower from 1968, designed by Shipwright and Heinrich. But what about Montgomery Ward? Didn't he fight battles to stop permanent private structures from being right along the Chicago lakefront like this tower is? Well, in the 1960s, there was a loophole in the building code that allowed for permanent private structures in this area as long as they were, and I'm using air quotes here, the wind smoothly around the building to reduce the sway of the building, because obviously the winds are very fierce out here along our lakefront. On the left-hand side, there is a Ferris wheel. That Ferris wheel sits on Navy Pier. When Navy Pier was completed in 1916 by Charles Faust, it was the longest pier in the world because our lake is very shallow, and they were trying to alleviate the congestion here in the Riverport area by building a long pier so they could load and offload boats out in the lake itself. In the 1940s, during World War II, it was taken over by the U.S. Navy, and they used the river from the lake because when we reversed the flow of the river, neighboring states were concerned we were diverting so much water out of the lake it was going to diminish lake quality. So they sued, and this time they were successful. We had put in those locks in order to restrict how much water we divert out of the lake. I am going to take a break so you can all